All right, here we are, guys. So back for another Golf Clash tutorial video here. And pretty much only one way that I play this one. So first, let's go over the shots. You can probably get away with Sniper 7 sometimes, but we're going to put Sniper 8 as the minimum. Alternatively, if I didn't have a Sniper 8, I'd rather use Guardian 2. So that should just tell you, if I feel more comfortable with Guardian 2, that should just kind of tell you something. I just don't want to short side myself. If I don't have the backspin, even if it's a half a bar off, I don't know who I'm going to be playing. It could be, one of the best players. You just never know. So you want to make sure that at the foremost that you at least put your club to the parameters that you can hit a very high quality shot. So you'll want to, be able to hit that, kind of 50-ish, 55 backspin number. It's kind of what we're looking at. So for Hammerhead, it should be about a 4. And for Cat, it should just be a 1. So, I'm more afraid of losing to a Cat 1 than I am a Sniper 7. Well, not necessarily in all situations, but in a certain tailwind situation, it'll be a little bit harder for the Sniper 7 to win. They might have to completely, change their shot a little bit. So there's kind of two ways that you can go about doing the shot that I'm going to suggest. The way that I always play it is through the rough, but you can even top spin it through the bunker. So what you'll see me do is I'll always play it right here. As an alternative, as I mentioned, you can land it a little bit shorter, especially with a little bit less sniper, and you can top spin it through there. But it also requires quite a significant amount of top spin to get it to go up the hill. So we're not even really going to cover that shot because of how little value. As long as you have these clubs above, you'll never have to go through the sand ever. So this is what we're looking at, and what I'll usually do is for my base case, it's usually about 4.5. And Sniper 7 doesn't have 4.5, so that's one of the biggest. These are all backspin values. So 4.5. Towards the tailwind, we're gonna start to crank this up. At least 4.75, maybe to 5. This I'll even use 5.25 in this situation. So it just depends on how high the wind gets. And, alternatively, we're going to need to back off of this a little bit. These are kind of the cases that I mentioned where you might be covered. 3.75, 3.5. Depends on how strong it gets. So that's what you're looking at. And as I mentioned, we'll just throw away that. And it basically just, bumps up and either goes in or sits right next to the cup, less than a yard. So when you play this properly, that's all you need to do. So let's start to talk about the wind. Side is just going to be max. Very, very easy shot. You just have to play a little bit of wind effect, which is usually, for a rough bump shot, it's about the width of a cup. It's very, very small, especially up as small as it has to go. So let's talk about the headwind case, because this is where I start to add on, maybe go plus 10%. Sometimes even plus 20%. So between plus 10 to plus 20%. Depends on how strong it gets. And having a good power ball in this headwind scenario would definitely be, to your benefit. So let's talk a little bit about the tailwind case here. So with the tailwind case, I still play very close to max. Max is pretty much spot on. Depending on where the tailwind kind of comes, if I kind of come to this higher ground, I may add on, 5 to 10%. Very, very small. Just depends on kind of where the angle kind of comes into place. So maybe just a fraction beyond max. But this is a very straightforward, very easy hole out. It's one of my favorite additions that they added to the game, as kind of, a second set of par threes, because most of the time they make them more challenging. Whereas this one, this is pretty much the shot. Okay, once you master this shot, you essentially never miss the mark. First off, you'll always hit that rough, and it's just an easy, easy win. So there's really nothing else that you should even be looking at as a potential for this hole. Once you master this shot, there's just no other way to do it, really. It's just the way. I mean, you never short side yourself, no matter what. You can always pull it off. So, good luck with that one, and see you guys on the next one.